Hi guys, today we're playing some EA Sports UFC 4 and I'm going to break down the clinch transitions for you guys, and stick around to the end. I'm going to show you how to do flying submissions as well. Let's go. Okay, so to begin with, attempt to clinch holding R1, press triangle or square, whichever the lead hand is. So on my fighter, it's going to be square. So holding R1, I just tap square and initiate that clinch. That's pretty straightforward. Moving your opponent, just move the analog stick in whatever direction you want to move them. That's fine. Next, we've got transitioning to the single under. So it's the same command again, basically. So if you hold R1 and press square, to get them to the clinch, you just press it again for the single under. This is really good for knees and all sorts. It's really good for causing damage in the fight, so make sure you remember that. Careful of your stamina here though, because it does drain quite fast. Okay, next you've got trips and throws. So after you've initiated the clinch, it's holding R1, pressing X or circle. So think of it as like lower body, like the kick commands. So let's look at that. So holding R1, X or circle, so you've got a trip there. You've also got a takedown where you can pick them up and things from that. Okay, one thing they don't tell you though is you can take them down from the single collar. So if you initiate that single collar tie, you can then throw them or take them down. So remember that, because that's not in the tutorial. So just initiate the single collar again, same command, bring them round, and if you want to, if their stamina's low, just take them straight down. Okay, so just make sure you guys remember. So it's R1 and then you tap square or triangle to initiate the clinch. You tap it again for the single collar, or X or circle to take them down. So just remember those controls for within the clinch. So there is also some uppercuts, hooks, elbows, knees and things you can do within the clinch. They are straightforward and they are similar to the strikes and commands you put in the game, so I won't cover them. We're just going over transitions, and now we're going to go over the flying submissions within the game. This is probably the reason most of you guys are here, and I'm excited to find the arm bars, the triangles and all sorts hidden in the game. So let's look at Jones doing a guillotine from within the clinch. So I've got that single under here, and then I've set up that guillotine. Okay, what you want to be careful is, first of all, if you take this guillotine to the ground, as you can see, there's a counter button for Cormier there. And he's put that counter on. Now he's jumped around and he's going for the Von Flue choke. So now I'm in a submission. So just be warned, there is kind of a risk reward with these submissions. So just make sure if you're going to go for the guillotine or whatever flying submission, that there is probably a counter hidden or advantageous position for your opponent if it fails. What I recommend with the guillotine, I recommend you guys keep it standing. So as you can see here, I've still initiated the submission standing, and if and when Cormier escapes here, we're safe, we're still standing, and you can reinitiate that instead of being bottom on the floor. So let's look at the command again there. So holding L2 and R1 and you press square or triangle, you can attempt a flying submission from the collar tie position here. So let's try that. So I've started the clinch, collar tie, L2 and R1, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so that brings that on there. If you press X or circle, you then take it to the ground. So takedown buttons take it to the ground. And then if we initiate it again and hit triangle or square, as I'm sure you guys can guess, that keeps it standing. So if you decide to keep that standing and your opponent escapes, you're both on your feet. Whereas if you take the submission to the ground, obviously when your opponent escapes, you're on the bottom, they're on top, so they could do a lot of damage there, and they could potentially counter it and choke you out. So just be wary of that when you guys play with this guillotine, and keep an eye on your stamina as well. So that is it for my clinch transitions video from EA Sports UFC 4. If you guys have any comments, please leave them down below. Give us a subscribe and a like as well. That will help the channel, and I'll do more of these if you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, or if you think I've missed anything, please don't forget to let me know and I will get back to you. Thanks guys.